My brothers and sisters, as we reflect on the lessons that the beloved Padre Pio left us, we remember his deep compassion for the most needy and his concern for the sufferings of the world. Padre Pio always encouraged us to have a watchful heart, especially for those facing extreme hardships, such as countries at risk of devastating disasters. He taught us that we must look at the world with the eyes of faith and charity, understanding that many nations live under the constant threat of natural catastrophes like earthquakes, floods, and hurricanes. These events not only destroy lives but also cause irreparable damage to communities and the environment. Padre Pio reminded us that prayer is a powerful tool of intercession. He said, "Pray, hope, and don't worry." These simple but profound words teach us that prayer is not just a spiritual refuge, but also an act of solidarity with those who suffer. When we pray for countries at risk, we are sending love and strength to those facing life's storms. Besides prayer, Padre Pio encouraged us to take action. He believed in the importance of helping others in concrete ways, whether through donations, volunteering, or simply extending a helping hand. When we see news of disasters, we should not be passive spectators, but rather seek ways to offer our support. I remember a story we always share about him. Amidst difficulties, he remained calm and had unwavering faith. He taught us that even when the world seems to be falling apart, we must trust in God and His mercy. This trust does not eliminate suffering but gives us the strength to face it. Padre Pio also spoke to us about the importance of caring for the environment. He believed that, as stewards of God's creation, we have the responsibility to protect and preserve our planet. Often, natural disasters are exacerbated by a lack of care for nature, and he reminded us that small daily actions can make a big difference. So, dear friends, as we reflect on Padre Pio's teachings, let us remember that our faith calls us to be compassionate and empathetic. He showed us that even in the midst of pain we can find hope. May we always follow his example of love for our neighbour, and together work for a better world where everyone can live with dignity and peace. Padre Pio always emphasized the importance of being spiritually prepared to face adversities. He reminded us that, in the face of disasters, faith is our anchor. Often countries at risk suffer not only from the events themselves, but also from the lack of infrastructure and resources to recover. In these moments, global solidarity becomes essential. He taught us that every act of kindness, no matter how small, has a profound impact. Helping a community affected by a disaster is like throwing a stone into a lake. The waves of kindness spread and touch many lives. When we support these nations, we are not just aiding in physical recovery, but also offering hope and showing that they are not alone. Furthermore, Padre Pio warned us about the importance of preparation. He said that just as we prepare spiritually to face temptations, we should also prepare for material crises. This includes supporting disaster prevention initiatives, encouraging the construction of more resilient infrastructure, and educating communities on how to respond in emergencies. He always stressed that true charity is not just giving what we have left over, but sharing from our own heart. When we see images of destruction and suffering, it is natural to feel powerless. However, Padre Pio encouraged us to transform that feeling into action. He challenged us to be instruments of peace and reconciliation, helping to rebuild not only houses but also lives and communities. In his letters and speeches, Padre Pio frequently mentioned the importance of community and family. For him, unity was fundamental in times of crisis. He advised us to strengthen our family and community ties, as it is in these support networks that we find the strength to face difficulties. When a nation is united, it is capable of overcoming the most devastating challenges. Additionally, he firmly believed in the power of forgiveness and reconciliation. Often disasters are followed by tensions and conflicts, and Padre Pio reminded us that forgiveness is essential for healing. He said that we must be bearers of peace, promoting dialogue and understanding among people, even in the most difficult situations. Another important aspect of his teachings was trust in divine providence. Padre Pio always encouraged us to trust in God's plans, even when we cannot understand the purpose behind the tragedies. This trust helps us to keep hope alive and to continue fighting for a better future. He left us with a message of unwavering love and faith. Let us be beacons of hope in a world of darkness. This message still resonates today, inspiring us to act with compassion and determination. As we face the challenges of natural disasters, may we be guided by the light of divine love, helping to build a more just and supportive world for all. Padre Pio constantly reminded us that in times of adversity, we must not lose hope. He believed that every difficulty was an opportunity to grow in faith and solidarity. In his homilies, he often mentioned that compassion is one of the greatest virtues we can cultivate. When we think of countries facing natural disasters, it is essential to remember that these nations need more than material aid. They need emotional and spiritual support. Padre Pio said that a simple act of empathy can have an immense impact on the life of someone who is suffering. He encouraged us to be a refuge for the afflicted, a light in the midst of darkness. He also taught us the importance of perseverance. Difficulties can be overwhelming, but it is necessary to keep faith firm. In his life, Padre Pio faced many trials but always trusted in divine providence. This trust was a source of strength that he conveyed to all around him. Moreover, he spoke about the importance of building resilient communities. He believed that when we unite, we become stronger. Each person has a role to play, and it is in collaboration that we find the most effective solutions to the challenges we face. Solidarity for him was a fundamental principle of Christian life. Padre Pio also reminded us of the importance of constant prayer. He believed that prayer not only brings us closer to God, but also connects us with the people for whom we pray. In times of crisis, prayer is a powerful form of intercession. By praying for countries at risk, we unite our voices in a cry for mercy and protection. He encouraged us to look to the future with hope. Even when circumstances are discouraging, we must remember that every storm eventually passes. Reconstruction may be slow, but with faith and determination, it is possible to overcome even the most devastating challenges. For Padre Pio, charity was a living testimony of Christ's love. He believed that by helping those in need, we are putting into practice the teachings of Jesus. No matter how small the help, every gesture counts. He inspired us to be generous, to share our resources, and to extend a hand to those in need. Finally, Padre Pio's words resonate as an invitation to action. Love one another as I have loved you. May we follow this commandment in our daily lives, supporting countries at risk, being instruments of peace and hope. May our love and compassion reach all corners of the world, transforming pain into joy and despair into hope. Padre Pio also taught us the importance of being a light for others, especially in dark times. He believed that even in the most difficult moments, we have the capacity to bring comfort and hope to those who suffer. This is something we must always keep in mind when thinking of countries at risk of devastating disasters. He reminded us that amidst destruction, there are always stories of courage and resilience. These stories show us that the human spirit is capable of rising above adversities. Padre Pio encouraged us to seek out these stories and be inspired by them, as they are living testimonies of the strength of faith and community. Moreover, he emphasized the importance of learning from challenges. Natural disasters, though tragic, teach us valuable lessons about the need to care for each other and our planet. Padre Pio saw this as a call to action, for all of us to be more conscious and responsible in our daily choices. He also highlighted the importance of reconciliation. Often tragedies can cause divisions, but Padre Pio believed that through forgiveness and understanding, it is possible to rebuild bonds and strengthen communities. He taught us that love should be the foundation of all our actions, for it is love that unites us and enables us to overcome any obstacle. In his words of encouragement, Padre Pio always reminded us of the constant presence of God in our lives. He said that even in the darkest moments, God is by our side, offering us strength and comfort. This trust gives us the courage to face any challenge, knowing that we are not alone. He encouraged us to be proactive in our help to others. We should not wait for crises to happen to act. We can contribute to building a safer and more just world by promoting solidarity and cooperation among nations. This vision of a better world is something we should always keep in our hearts. Padre Pio also reminded us that ultimately everything comes down to love for others, for our planet, and for ourselves. It is through love that we find the strength to overcome adversities and build a better future for all. So as we follow the teachings of Padre Pio, may we be a positive force in the world, extending our hands and hearts to those who need it most. May we be true ambassadors of peace and hope, working together for a world where everyone can live with dignity and security. When we face catastrophes, it is common to feel a profound sense of powerlessness. Padre Pio taught us that in these moments, it is essential to remember that our strength comes from unity and faith. He encouraged us not only to pray, but also to act with compassion and solidarity. He believed that each person can make a difference, even in small. Continue with ChatGPT ways. Simple acts of kindness and support can have a profound impact on those affected by disasters. Padre Pio taught us to be proactive in our efforts to help, to be the hands and feet of Christ in the world. He often emphasized the importance of community and collective effort. When a nation faces a disaster, it is not just the responsibility of its citizens, but of the global community to come together and provide support. Padre Pio saw this as an expression of true Christian love, where boundaries and distances do not diminish our sense of responsibility towards one another. Furthermore, he reminded us of the power of resilience and hope. Even in the aftermath of great destruction, the human spirit can rise and rebuild. Padre Pio believed that by maintaining hope and working together, communities can recover and become even stronger than before. He also spoke about the importance of preparing for and mitigating the impact of disasters. This includes supporting policies and initiatives that aim to reduce vulnerabilities and enhance the resilience of communities. By investing in disaster preparedness and sustainable development, we can help reduce the risks and impacts of future catastrophes. Padre Pio's teachings encourage us to be vigilant and proactive in our approach to natural disasters. He urged us to educate ourselves and others about the importance of environmental stewardship and the need to take care of our planet. He saw the protection of the environment as an integral part of our faith and responsibility towards future generations. In moments of crisis, Padre Pio's message of love and solidarity becomes even more vital. He believed that through faith, prayer, and action, we could bring comfort and hope to those in need. He encouraged us to be beacons of light, spreading the message of Christ's love and compassion to all corners of the world. So let us carry forward Padre Pio's legacy by being attentive to the needs of those affected by natural disasters. Let us pray for them, offer our support, and work together to build a more resilient and compassionate world. In doing so, we honor his teachings and embody the true spirit of Christian charity and love. Continue, ChatGPT. As we reflect on the teachings of Padre Pio, it becomes clear that our faith calls us to act with compassion and solidarity, especially during times of crisis. Padre Pio's example reminds us that we have a responsibility to care for our neighbours, both near and far. He frequently spoke about the power of intercessory prayer, emphasizing that prayer is not only a spiritual refuge, but also a powerful act of solidarity with those who suffer. By praying for nations at risk of natural disasters, we are not only asking for divine intervention, but also expressing our love and concern for those who are enduring hardships. Padre Pio also encouraged practical action alongside prayer. He believed in the importance of tangible support, whether through donations, volunteering, or simply offering a helping hand. His life demonstrated that faith in action is crucial in times of need. When we hear about natural disasters, we should not remain passive spectators, but actively seek ways to provide assistance. He often reminded us of the significance of hope. Even when faced with overwhelming challenges, Padre Pio taught that hope is a powerful anchor that can sustain us. His words and actions reassured us that despite the suffering and devastation, we can find strength and resilience through our faith. Moreover, Padre Pio emphasized the importance of environmental stewardship. He believed that caring for the planet is a divine mandate and a way to prevent and mitigate the impacts of natural disasters. By making sustainable choices and protecting the environment, we can contribute to a safer and healthier world for future generations. Padre Pio's teachings also highlighted the importance of community and family. He saw unity as essential in times of crisis, advising us to strengthen our family and community bonds. These support networks provide the foundation for resilience and recovery when disasters strike. Forgiveness and reconciliation were also central to Padre Pio's message. He believed that healing and rebuilding after a disaster require overcoming tensions and conflicts. By fostering forgiveness and understanding, we can rebuild not only physical structures, but also the social fabric of affected communities. Lastly, Padre Pio's unwavering trust in divine providence serves as a powerful reminder to maintain faith even when we do not understand the purpose behind tragedies. This trust can sustain us and keep hope alive as we navigate the challenges of life. Padre Pio's teachings call us to be proactive, compassionate, and united in our efforts to support those affected by natural disasters. By praying, taking concrete actions, promoting environmental stewardship, and fostering community resilience, we can embody his legacy and work towards a world where everyone can live with dignity and hope. As we face the storms of life, let us be guided by the light of divine love, building a more just and compassionate world for all. Padre Pio's legacy continues to inspire us to be steadfast in our faith and proactive in our efforts to support those in need. His teachings remind us that in times of adversity, we must turn our compassion into concrete actions that can bring relief and hope to those suffering from the aftermath of natural disasters. One of the core elements of Padre Pio's message is the power of community. He believed that by coming together and supporting one another, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. This sense of unity is crucial when dealing with the aftermath of natural disasters, where the collective strength of a community can significantly aid in recovery efforts. Padre Pio also emphasized the importance of preparation and resilience. He encouraged us to not only respond to disasters, but also to prepare for them. This involves supporting initiatives that aim to build more resilient infrastructures, educate communities on disaster preparedness, and advocate for policies that mitigate the impact of natural disasters. By doing so, we can help reduce the vulnerability of communities and enhance their capacity to recover from such events. His teachings on environmental stewardship are particularly relevant today. Padre Pio recognized that many natural disasters are exacerbated by environmental neglect. He urged us to take responsibility for the care of our planet, understanding that our actions have far-reaching consequences. By promoting sustainable practices and respecting the natural world, we contribute to a healthier planet that can better withstand and recover from natural disasters. In his messages, Padre Pio often spoke about the importance of maintaining hope and faith. He believed that even in the darkest times, hope can be a powerful force that enables us to persevere and find strength. This hope is not passive but active, calling us to engage in acts of kindness and solidarity that uplift those around us. Forgiveness and reconciliation also play a vital role in Padre Pio's teachings. After a disaster, communities often face not only physical destruction, but also emotional and social upheaval. Padre Pio taught that healing requires forgiveness and the rebuilding of relationships. By fostering a spirit of reconciliation, we can help communities heal and become stronger in the face of future challenges. Padre Pio's unwavering trust in divine providence offers comfort and guidance during times of crisis. He believed that even when we cannot understand the reasons behind our suffering, we can trust in God's plan and find solace in His presence. This trust encourages us to remain hopeful and resilient, knowing that we are never alone in our struggles. As we continue to reflect on Padre Pio's teachings, let us strive to embody his message of love, faith, and compassion. By praying for those affected by natural disasters, offering tangible support, promoting environmental stewardship, and fostering community resilience, we can honor his legacy and work towards a world where everyone can live with dignity and hope. In conclusion, Padre Pio's teachings are a call to action for all of us. They remind us that our faith must be lived out through acts of compassion and solidarity. By following his example, we can make a meaningful difference in the lives of those affected by natural disasters and contribute to a more just and compassionate world. Let us be beacons of hope and agents of change, guided by the light of divine love, as we strive to build a better future for all.